Well, when we arrive at the racetrack, we come up with trucks and containers, and they need to be emptied into the garages which we allocated at each race meeting, and slowly the racing takes shape. And from the moment they arrive, they look if the car is still in the same shape when they loaded the car before they left from the last race. Then they check everything, if nothing is loose on the car, any bolts and nuts, if the wheels are tightened up, if that is well, clean everything so that it looks smart, because all cars have sponsored livery on the car. And just put them on the setup bed where a final checkup is done of the corner weights and quite a lot of technical details. Because it's our third season, we know the racetracks very well by now, and the basic setups we have to put on the car. Our drivers are allowed to change the setup during each qualifying or free practice. So there's always a lot of work in between the free practice, qualifying and race sessions. Well, we run each day as a separate race day. In terms of, we have a 30-minute free practice session where people can, just see if they like the car, the track, if it's dusty, whatever. Then they prepare for qualifying. In qualifying, they start normally on a used set of tires, come in the bits and then change to a new set of tires, because the new soft coming out of the rubber is giving them an extra time, and they have just to put the qualifying time down. Then it's all the adrenaline up for the race, and then there's the race. It's just a countdown which starts, and people get nervous, and then they get in their cars, go to the grid, and then the lights go from red to green. Well, each driver car has an allocation of 3 car sets of Michelin tires, and one of them has to be used, the other 2 can be new, so that for each race combination, free practice, qualifying and race, they have a new set of tire, but don't necessarily need to go out on a new set of tire, which would be sort of very difficult. Well, we use high octane fuel, 103 degrees, which is just for safety of the engines. The hotter it gets, the better that is. And it's our racing fuel. Well, when the race is over and there's a debriefing with the drivers from the engineer side, meanwhile the mechanics start sort of to race prepare already for the next race, the basics. Look if there's no damage on the car, whatever needs to be done during the time to the next race weekend. Then once that's done, the cars are loaded back into the trucks and the spare parts into the containers, and then off they go back to the next racetrack. The very interesting point on the whole thing is that we have a staff which is our own team, which is then aided on by staff from actually very, very well-known international teams who normally compete against us. So it's a very interesting point. Here they are all one family, everything talks, of course, and it's very interesting.